Welcome back to PRI, Prep Recruiting Insider, here at NOLA Motorsports Park in Avondale. I'm Rick Gailey, the host and coach for PRI, along with our Prep Recruiting Insider, Renee Nato. And we are joined today, and very happy to be joined by Ed Eagan, both a Holy Cross graduate and a Demon for Northwestern State University. Thank you, Ed, for joining us here today.
Thanks for having me.
Ed, looking forward to having you here, buddy. And former Holy Cross Tiger, who went to Northwestern, and you hold 10 Northwestern State records as you leave there. One of them is the all-time leading receiver, and that's pretty stout, and you're fourth all-time in the Southland Conference in kick returns. But go back a little bit. Why was Northwestern State a good fit for you?
Well, I just liked the atmosphere there. I had a good relationship with Coach Lockett and Coach Pivotal when they recruited me. Just felt like a good place.
Any of the schools you considered before Northwestern?
Yeah, there were a lot of different schools I was looking at. It was a hectic process, but Tulane was looking at me, but it didn't work out, so I just went with Northwestern.
Okay.
And as a Holy Cross Tiger, you were involved with both the former head coach and now present AD, Barry Wilson, who was your head coach, and also your defensive coordinator at the time, who's now the head coach, Eric Rabatta, who was on the show earlier this year, as a matter of fact. Let's talk about Coach Wilson. What an interesting character and gentleman he is.
Yeah, I love Coach Barry. He's been my coach for a while. Started like 8th grade. He always knew about me before I was on the team, and he put me at cornerback, and you know, we had a great relationship, and he's a great guy, so great coach too. And
Coach Rabatta, as we mentioned, was a defensive coordinator. He's really done a good job of taking the ball from Coach Wilson and moving forward as the head coach at Holy Cross, hasn't he?
Yeah, Coach Rabatta was my position coach, and he was also my track coach. So we were always spending time together. He had some great ideas, great football mind, helped me out a lot.
You set a state record with 5 interceptions in one game with a broken hand against Clark. I want you to touch on that, but also how it became you were a frustrated wide receiver, if you will. You wanted to play offense really bad, and you did some things, making some acrobatic catches to catch Coach Thomas's attention. Talk about the 5 interceptions first.
Well, that game I had a broken thumb, and going in that game, practicing all week, I was playing with a cast, and I was making plays at practice all week because I felt like I had a chip on my shoulder with the cast. And the game came, and I was making plays.
Now, when Coach Thomas arrived as you a sophomore, Ed, you kind of want to pull some trick plays, some one-handed catches in spring. You have a great spring game. How did that evolve that you went from defense at Northwestern to a wide receiver?
Well, I mean, I've always been like an offensive-minded kind of player. Always liked the ball in my hands, and just coming from returns and having the ball in my hands, it was a transition pretty good.
And being an explosive, as we're looking at some of the video, being an explosive player, we mentioned you were recruited by Bradley Dale Pivotal, who's now at LSU, and then Jake Thomas took over. Talk about the transition from one to the other, because you went from not only a transition of different head coaches, but also changed sides of the ball.
Well, it was a big change. From my freshman year to my sophomore year. Just how he did everything differently than Coach Peeve, Coach Thomas, and it worked out great. And also he saw that I had talent and could put me at receiver. So he really changed a lot for me, and I'm really blessed for that.
You're on a cusp right now of a career in the NFL, and you're working out with a really good friend of mine, Sonic Boom Wyatt Harris. You're in a 4.3s and a 40, and you have a 39-inch vertical. How is working out here with Wyatt prepared you, and what does the long-range workouts look like with the NFL teams coming up?
Well, he's a great mentor for me, and just working out, just staying focused. It's really, just getting after it every day is, it's what I like to do, so it's working out for me.
And what facet are you really focusing on to get better for the pro workouts?
Just becoming more of a complete receiver, and also working on the mental game, learning a lot, reading a lot. That's really it.
Now, Northwestern has had some outstanding receivers in the past that you've followed in their footsteps when you're looking at Al Edwards, Odessa Turner, Mark Duper, Floyd Turner, and others. What a great lineage. What's it feel like for Ed Eagan to be included in a list of receivers like that?
Well, it's funny you said that. Mark Duper actually came down during camp and coached us a little bit for like about a week, and we spent a lot of time together. And to be the #1 receiver there is, it means a lot to me.
You've been compared with, and I've compared you to a Wes Welker or a guy like that, Edelman from the Patriots. But who do you feel like you most resemble as a receiver? Antonio Brown, maybe, somebody like that?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I have my own kind of game. So, I mean, there's things that I'm similar to, but Antonio Brown is really quick, but it's hard to compare to guys like that who've done it for so long, and so I'm just trying to have my own type right now.
And you're not only an offensive threat, but as we've talked about, a kick returner, which is two entirely different phases. Not all kickoff return specialists or punt return specialists. Can you compare and contrast the two between being a kickoff returner and also a punt returner?
Well, yeah, they're definitely different. The ball, it's coming different, so it's not easy to do both of them, but you still have to study the ball, study how it's coming, and you can't really explain, like, it's in the moment type of thing for me. I like to do it.
Right. Yeah, and also on a kickoff return, you're going to catch the ball. Yeah. You don't have to worry about a fair catch or how close the return people are. But it's interesting that you had mentioned in your punt return is you got to study the flight of the ball in the air, because if the nose turns over, the ball is going to do one thing. If the back end drops down, it's going to do something else.
Yeah.
Talk about that study, because it's not just you just stand there and run to where the ball is. You really have to practice.
Well, yeah, there's steps. There's steps. First, you got to look at the ball off the foot, see it, and then get to the spot, get your stance right. Don't move or sway back and forth. Just stand still, and that's about it. I mean, that's the punt return compared to kick return is different. Yeah.
Your mom is a workout warrior. How much has that spilled over to your drive to really be in the best fit that you can?
Well, I've been around athletes my whole life. She's always been working out and eating right and doing like everything for me. So I've been blessed with that with my mom. Yeah.
Good genes and a good attitude. You gotta love that. That is Ed Eagan, former Holy Cross Tiger, All-State player, and also Northwestern State University Demon. What a great player. Ed, we appreciate you being here with us today. We hope that your future includes some of the bowl games coming up, and perhaps the combine, that you have an opportunity to play at the next level. We appreciate you very much being here with us today.
Appreciate you all. Thank you.
And NFL coaches, that's only somebody that can help you keep your job when you have a great player like Ed Eagan on your side. He knows how to work, he knows how to study, he knows how to prepare, he knows how to win. This is Prep Recruiting Insider from NOLA Motorsports Park in Avondale in the Event Center. We're going to be right back after this timeout. This is PRI.